how was your experience on Australia's Ninja Warrior? And would you sign up again if you had the opportunity? So this is obviously the picture that's on the thumbnail. It looks like you're doing the Ninja Warrior right there. Looking god tier with the balance.
Oh, the amount of like weight that I lost to go on that. I don't know how. Look how ridiculously skinny I look in that picture. I think I weighed like 63 or 65 kilos or something. Like it was
I don't know what that
insane.
is. What's that in a freedom unit?
All right, let me just convert that to freedom units right now.
I'm guessing like 135, maybe 135 pounds. I don't know how tall you are, though.
Yeah, 143.
Okay,
I'm 182 centimeters tall.
How you convert that to? You're already on the converter.
Okay. 182 centimeters, 2 feet. It's 5'11.66.
Okay. Yeah, you're about an inch taller than me.
Yeah.
Damn, so you were only 143. Sheesh, that's really skinny. That would be like me being like 136. Jesus.
Yeah, but to get onto that, like I was ridiculously like I was going to like a random like training gym with like obstacles on it and stuff. Like I was just doing chin-ups in my garage, like a monkey bar set up in my garage and stuff. I think I do like 37 chin-ups in a row at the time. I don't know how many. It was insane.
Holy shit!
Like without stopping? You know how people do? Yeah, 37 in a row.
Like without like wow, that's wild, bro. That's a lot.
Yeah, and what else could I do? You know how people do one-arm chin-ups and they like use one arm to pull up their other arm? They're like, I did a one-arm chin-up.
Oh yeah,
that's not a one-arm chin-up. You got to dead hang with one arm and pull yourself up with one arm.
Yeah.
I could do. I think it was either 3 or 4 of just dead hang one-arm chin-ups, which was I don't know. That was pretty insane as well. I feel like.
Were you able to do muscle ups?
Yeah, I could do 13 muscle ups, so that was pretty good.
You do one-handed muscle ups? That's when you're
you can't balance as you do that.
It's wild. I think I've seen somebody on like a reel doing that shit.
But yeah, to get onto that show, there was I think 13,000 applicants, and the top 300 got chosen to go on the show. So I was pretty lucky to even be able to go on the show. You had to do like a physical test, get interviewed and stuff as well afterwards, and the physical test was so brutal. Like you're in like this garage and they're like testing like how far you can jump, how many like chin-ups you can do, how long you can like hold yourself, dead hang, stuff like that.
Wow.
And you've got all the other people competing against you. And it's like when you're hanging there next to everyone else, you just do not want to be the first person to come off. Like you're suffering so much. You're all just looking, you're just it's like you're fighting for your life. It's like and I almost threw up after it, and I couldn't even open the door after I left like the testing thing because my arm was just dead because you've come so far. You're not gonna let anything stop you. Like you're gonna hold on until you're gonna die, right? Like I don't know.
Damn, that's crazy.
So yeah,
how was the whole experience? Was it fun? Like what does the live audience look like? Because there's a live audience right there, right? Kind of cheering.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's scary to be honest. Yeah. It's pretty intimidating. It was really annoying because I don't know if have you ever watched Ninja Warrior before?
Yeah, I used to watch it like a decade ago. So
have you heard of the shrinking steps?
It's
like it's one where you like run across all these stepping stone things,
and they like fall or something when you step on them or something.
They don't fall, but they're like squidgy kind of things above the water, and they're like little small things you have to like run across.
Okay,
and they like get there and. So I trained all this upper body stuff. Like I'm good at all that. And I'm just like, as long as I get past the leg obstacle, I'm good. And then I do the shrinking steps. And then I get across all the shrinking steps. I grab the rope, swing across it. And then my toe just skims the water like the slightest bit. And then
you know how
like all the red lights go up when my toe just touches.
That is so dumb.
All that training and my toe slightly touches. And then I'm like, okay, how do I still make a scene for myself? How do I make it look like I don't know, like I still know what I'm doing? So I do a backflip back into the water. And then when I do the backflip, I land back on one of the shrinking steps and that like cuts my knee open and I'm just like bleeding everywhere. And then they go to like interview me afterwards and then they see that my whole leg is just gushing out of blood and then they have to escort me off like mid-interview. So it was kind of a messed up situation. But it doesn't run in Australia anymore, unfortunately. So
yeah, they probably canceled it. God
but
damn
if it were to run again, I mean,
so you're pretty confident you could have completed the whole thing pretty fast.
Easily
because you got past the one part that was the challenge, and then you're just
Yeah. Everything else I'd practiced, yeah. But you can't really
Do a backflip, slice your knee open. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
It's
I
the
was
worst.
pissed. I was oh yeah, I don't know.
Everything's going wrong.
Yeah. So anything to just have another shot at it, of course I would go back if I had, but it's actually a kind of it's an exhausting day because you get up there, you so they expect you to be there early in the morning because they want to like take pictures of you like posing in specific ways to and like interview you for like you know how they like tell your story like what do you do with yourself
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
have like I had like a Pokemon backstory about like me playing competitive Pokemon and stuff and I like wore a Pikachu suit and stuff like
Hmm.
that so I had to be there I think like 7 or 8 in the morning and this was I had to travel probably 2 hours to get there too. So I probably had to wake up at like 5 in the morning or something. And then my actual run was at like 1 o'clock in the morning the next day. And I'd already stayed up the whole day
Oh
doing
my
like it. So I'm
God.
just so I think I had like 5 copies or something that day. Like it's
Jesus. That's brutal.
I feel like that probably might have affected my precision as well. Maybe that's part of the reason my toe
Totally.
skinned.
That
Maybe I
has
would have
to be
been a bit
part of the
more
reason. You're
careful.
not even fully recovered. Jeez.
Yeah, so besides that, I don't know. Yeah, I want to get. It was really weird as well. You know how I said I did like that, like strenuous kind of physical test and stuff. I had
Hmm.
one of one of my music teachers from in high school was randomly doing the test with me that I hadn't seen for like 10 years, and he was
Oh,
in the like
wow.
actual. Yeah, I was like, what the hell are you doing here? And it was crazy to like see one of my old teachers like trying to get on the show. Yeah,
That's cool.
so,
What was
yeah.
the if you would have like gone far and stuff, like was there like a cash reward? Like how did that all work if you would have?
I think it's like 100. It depends. It builds up if people hadn't won the previous year. I think it was at like 300,000 or something like that. So yeah, if you
Wow. But
that
there
would
were
be pretty
people that
huge.
were
Yeah.
like pretty crazy. Do you think you had a chance at that?
Mm,
Or
maybe. I mean, there's obviously people who were better than me,
yeah.
but I would have a shot at it. Like, I mean, I grew up doing gymnastics. I didn't get like super. I don't know if you know the levels in gymnastics, but level 10 is Olympic level. I was level 8, so
Wow.
I
Not
was
bad. Not
decently
bad.
good at gymnastics. Like, I can do most of the stuff that I can do. Like a triple backflip. I can do a triple twist. I can do a lot of cool moves, I suppose. I mean, I'm not the best, but and I got pretty good upper body strength too from my gymnastics background. But I mean, obviously, there's some absolute beasts on the show, so it's I don't
So
know. Maybe I'll be top 20 or 30, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
like
Like I'll be humble here.
like theoretically, if there were to be a thing similar to that in the future, like do you think you could get in the shape that you would need to be like relatively quickly? How much work would that take to get back to that like physique you need?
Well, I'm 78 kg at the moment. I'll convert that to freedom units for you.
Thank you.
What is that? 78 kg to pound. I am 171 at the moment.
Okay.
So I could get back down to that in probably maybe like 3 or 4 months, I reckon. Like if I committed myself to it, probably. But I mean, I don't think I ever want to be that skinny again. Like
Yeah, that sounds miserable.
it is. I remember like I'd be invited out to like some bar or whatever with my friends, and then like the aircon would be on, or like I'd be sitting on the chair that's like slightly pointy, and like it's like my pelvis. There's like no fat between my pelvis and the seat, and it would just destroy me. Like you just die just sitting on a chair, and like the cold, you'd have to like leave the bar after like 20 minutes because you just freeze to death. Like you look crazy good. Like I don't know
Yep.
if you can. I don't know if you have that image of me that I showed
Yeah, yeah.
you in the past.
If
Maybe
you,
you can bring that up on the stream.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Pull it up. We'll show
Oh,
people.
do we have it still? I don't know if I can immediately find it. Let me see if I
Well,
can.
let's see if you can. But no, I mean, I mean, when I was a senior in high school, that was my leanest I ever was because I finally started understanding nutrition. I finally started understanding exercise. I finally started understanding these things, and I wanted to get lean, but I wasn't doing it the appropriate way. Like I had a relatively like just for being a 17-year-old had all right muscle mass, like tiny amounts, but enough to like if I would have cut, which I did, I looked relatively good for being a kid, but and not having like actually gone to a gym, just doing like basic calisthenics. But I do
Yeah.
remember times where like I'd be in the car and everyone's totally fine temperature, and I'm sitting there fucking freezing because I was just so lean.
And
And
if you go in the ocean too, like I live
oh,
really close to the ocean, it's like you'll last a minute, like
oh, that'd be so
max.
bad. Yeah. No, I mean, I just remember like always being cold. I'd always be craving something. It's just permanently craving something. I'd want a donut, or I'd want multiple donuts. I'd want pizza. I'd want anything. It's just this constant sort of feeling of like, I want something, but I was so dedicated to just being lean. I was in lacrosse. I wanted to do all these things. So, but I just remember that. And I was probably like 140 pounds, maybe like
That's the
138 at my
thing.
lowest.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that's similar to what I got to.
But
Then,
I
yeah,
didn't have
dude.
as much muscle mass as you. I mean, I was, again, like this is just barely getting into
I'm,
it. I was, pretty skinny.
I definitely lost. Like, okay, I've been through a fat phase before, like where I
Mhm.
got like mega. I think when I first started streaming, I weighed 98 kg, which
Okay.
is let me see what that
Probably
is
close
for
to
you in pounds.
200, right?
It
Or
is
more than 200.
216.
Jesus.
Yeah, I weighed that for a bit, and but I was really strong back then. Like
Hmm.
I don't know if you know much about like bench press and stuff. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
done
yeah.
much like lifting and stuff.
Yeah, no, I
I could
actually, in college, well, let me know what your max was, and I'll tell you what mine was.